Today, I talk to you about challenges on the podcast, and let's talk about why we do challenges. I have had people, they come to see you and they go, "Oh, I'm really sorry, Geraldine, I haven't done any of the things you told me to do." And I look at them and I go, "I didn't tell you to do anything. We talked together about what you were going to change. So you haven't done what you told yourself you were going to do." I'm like, well, let's go back through what you didn't achieve and why not. And let's look at why you didn't, what the barriers were, what the problem was, so that we can change it so that it suits you better, so that you can achieve those aims. Hello and welcome. Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to your needs, the needs of the practicing natural therapist. With interviews, herbal discussions, something business and something clinical each week, you'll get the variety you need and enjoy to stay motivated in practice. Hello and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. And here I am again, your host, Geraldine. So what are you up to at the moment? Are you doing something exciting? You've got your headphones in, hopefully, and you're getting ready for a little bit of me. I really love my podcasts, and I think in one of my other podcasts I've touched on when I'm always walking when I'm listening to podcasts and how much I love them. So recently in Strictly Education and Support, we did a challenge. So I thought today I'd talk to you about challenges on the podcast, because now I'm the least competitive person you're likely to ever meet in your life. So challenges don't really suit me particularly because I'm not someone who has to win. I don't mind not being picked for the team. I'll think of something else to do rather than to be on the team. So as a kid, I was always picked for the hockey team. However, if I hadn't been, or if I couldn't for whatever reason, I would be on the sidelines yelling. So it didn't bother me that, so I'm not competitive. I don't really have a competitive streak. I'm a middle child, so I'm used to having to go with the flow, not stand out too much. But I love standing out. Of course I do. When I was growing up, I did Trinity College of Speech and Drama, and I ended up doing almost the whole teacher's certificate. I did all the practical one. I didn't do the written. I can't remember why I didn't do the written. Something happened, and so the exam was postponed, and then I just never did it. So, I can still teach the drama side. I think I can't teach, well, I couldn't anyway. How long ago was that? Trinity College, they'd just say, no, you don't exist in our database anymore. It was so long ago. But let's talk about the challenge, and let's talk about why we do challenges. So when our clients come to see us, they want to achieve an aim, right? But they're not all competitive. So some people, if you tell them what to do, they will just straight up do it. They might not do it in your time frame. They might. So perfect example, my girlfriend she's a chef, and she works in the galley of a ship. And I was complaining to her one day many moons ago that my son wouldn't do something I'd asked him to do. I can't remember what it was. I said I'd give him tidying up or doing something. I said, well, did you not give him a list? She said, always give blokes a list and they'll do exactly what you want them to do. Oh, okay then. It worked brilliantly. I'd give him a list, I'd leave him to do it, and he would just get it done as long as he had that list. Now, when we look at all our different clients, we have to interact with them all in different ways. Some people, you tell them what to do. Some people, you have to work really hard at sorting out swaps for them, cajoling with them, negotiating those changes, because although they want change, they want the magic pill. And of course, we don't have a magic anything. Unfortunately, we don't have a magic wand. I have had people, they come to see you and they go, "Oh, I'm really sorry, Geraldine, I haven't done any of the things you told me to do." And I look at them and I go, "I didn't tell you to do anything. We talked together about what you were going to change. So you haven't done what you told yourself you were going to do." So it's entirely up to you if you come to see me or not. You can just put the cost of disappointment straight into my bank. I really don't mind, and then just carry on as you are. Or you can choose to do the things that you wanted to do and we talked about last time. But let's go back through those. And they'd laugh, of course, and I'd laugh with them. But then I'm like, well, let's go back through what you didn't achieve and why not. And let's look at why you didn't, what the barriers were, what the problem was, so that we can change it so that it suits you better, so that you can achieve those aims, rather than just a list of things that you're not able to achieve because family, more often than not, they're women who've come to see you and they've got children to look after and they've got so much going on that it's really hard for them to achieve those aims. So when I put these challenges in Strictly Education and Support, the Facebook group that I run, I do know that not everybody's going to achieve them. And depending what's happening in people's lives will depend on how much effort they'll put into it and who will participate. So, with the mini challenge, it's always a mini challenge these days. I've done in the past big challenges before now. I've done 14-day challenges when I was in Europe in 2019. I did a 14-day challenge while I was away, and it ended in a webinar. It was really, really well attended. But this little challenge that I did was just getting us ready for Christmas. So I thought, let's talk about challenges as a whole and and why we do them. So normally with a challenge, you do your challenge and it ends in something. So in February, I'm going to have webinars and there'll be challenges. There'll be all sorts of things happening in February because that's when I open the Graduate Mastery Program again. So 12th of February is the date for opening the cards. So there's going to be all sorts of things happening. There'll be a webinar around then, and then we'll have some challenges. We'll have workbooks. There'll be lots to do because it's like, well, is this right for you? Is this what you want to do? I don't want you doing my courses if they're not right for you, or you should be doing a different course. So I want to meet everyone. So I love my focus calls. Those are so much fun for me. If you haven't had a focus call, please book a focus call. They are so much fun for me. I love meeting everybody. So with this challenge, what did we look at? We looked at scheduling for our social media over the Christmas holidays because people are just super busy. Right? I'm super busy anyway. And then on top of that, you've got all your Christmas shopping and you've got people to see, people to write to, people to phone. You've got stuff that you've got to do. And most people have the kids at home. So I've been struggling to podcast because my son's back home on his summer holidays from uni and his girlfriend's here and my daughter's here and her friends are here. So the noise is just like prior to, I was just like, yeah, I'll sit down, I'll do some podcasting, I'll pop out a podcast or two. Now it's big signs up, be quiet, be silent. So things get hard and that's okay. That is totally okay for things to be hard. So what we did in this little challenge was I was like, come on, use Canva. So day 2 was Canva. Day 1 was actually figuring out Creator Suite and how to use Creator Suite. Because if you've got a Facebook business page, then you've got the creator side on the page here and you can use that to schedule. And that's, of course, a free tool. So rather than purchasing Planaloy or Asana or one of these purchase products that you can use for free, you can use many of these things for free. Planaloy you can use for free, but you can only use it to a certain amount. You can only have a certain amount on there. But with the Creator Suite, you can put it all in there and you can schedule it to go. So because what I was encouraging everybody to do was to get ready for Christmas, putting up their opening hours, their closing hours, when they're going to be on holiday and what they're going to be doing, and using Canva to get those posts ready so they were pretty, so they could be up there and they could be ready to go over that week, which would mean that if you've got things going, something comes up on Christmas Day, something for me will come up saying Merry Christmas on Christmas Day. But it means if I'm rushing around like a mad thing and I don't get to post, that's okay. I might look at any of the social medias on Christmas Day. Chances are I won't. It's not, but I don't look at social media every day. So, chances are I won't. And if I do, it'll be because I'm waiting for something. Chances are something's happening and I'm just waiting for, something to cook or do whatever. But it means that if I want to post a Christmas picture, that's on top of my scheduled post. All right. And it means that my followers who are at home, who aren't into Christmas, who don't believe in, I do presents, I will let you know I believe in presents. Gifts are great and keep small business alive. So, and lots of my gifts, I try to do at least half from small business and local business. And then there's always charity gifts for people who are overseas. So they get a goat or something. So they get a Christmas card that says, season's greeting. You just put a goat for a village somewhere or other, or some such. I think goats for 2 years ago. I can't remember what I did last year. Last year was water, I think. I haven't organised it yet this year. By the time you've listened to this, I will have already organised it. But it means that I've got time to do other things because when things were slow, I was able to make sure, or my VA was able to make sure all of these things were posted. We'd been through everything. We'd talked about it. We'd figured out what needed to go up. Then we also talked about emailing. So making sure that we've got our emails. And I think I've mentioned this in a previous podcast where originally I got my kid to go through, I had paper files for many, many years. I used carbon paper. Anyone heard of that? So I used carbon paper. I would write out what my client was to do, needed, take, whatever, and I would give them the top copy and I would keep the carbon copy in their file. And that's how I worked it for years and years and years. And so, when it came to putting all those email addresses into an email system, so that I could email everybody. And, it was much easier with my programs because I was just literally, for my programs, I had manually been doing everything. So it was much easier to move it onto a platform and an email platform. So I use Flowdesk, but I do have an affiliate link somewhere if you wanted it. If I put everything up there, it means that I attach the person to it and off it goes and they get the PDF or they get the video link or they get whatever it is. And it means, so I use Vimeo and I use YouTube. So all of the filmed ones of these are on a YouTube page, so Mentoring with Geraldine, because the herbal ones, she shows the herbs and we look at the herbs as well. So I needed all those email addresses somewhere. So I got my kids to put them up. That was one of the jobs that I got my kids to do, was to put all the email addresses up onto one of these platforms, and it just saved me ultimately so much hassle. It's so much easier. So then I use Acuity as well. I think I must have an affiliate link for that somewhere if you wanted it. And so all the email addresses, as people, there has to be the option for them to opt out from any emailing. When you ask for an email address, there has to be that opportunity to either opt out or opt in, depending how you word it. I've got an opt out rather than an opt-in. And so it means that I've got everybody's email addresses in one place. So that was part of the challenge as well, making sure that you had the email addresses so that you could email everybody and say my Christmas closing dates or my Christmas opening dates, and you could perhaps send them a Christmas offer. So of a bonus of something, not necessarily, a free appointment. I give free appointments when I get a referral, because that just means so much to me. When someone refers a client to me, that means a lot to me, and people get, a free appointment, and it's a full appointment. It's not a bit of an appointment, because by the time someone's referring other people to you, it means that they know, like, and trust you so much, but they're also a long way through their journey. So when you're at the free appointment stage, you're not doing heaps of research on them. You're not having to, spend all that time in PubMed anymore. And it's so valuable to you to get that other client. So, so when I was saying to them, what bonus would they give? It wasn't, giving a free appointment. It was perhaps a flower essence or, a herbal tea or extra time or something, but they pay for the appointment. I think it's really important that we don't discount our appointments, because that's our, our education and our training, all those years and years of studying to get that degree and those diplomas and all of the things that you do. So I think it's really important we don't discount our consults. We don't discount our herbs either. The love that goes into making those herbs is phenomenal. The amount of effort and work through all of the stages, I think it's really important we don't discount them, because they are a medicine, and you'd never get a medicine discounted if you went to a pharmacy, and they are a medicine. I will sometimes discount my supplements. So, if I get it on sale, so if the vitamin C from the wholesaler is on sale, then I will pass that sale on to my clients. Now, of course, I don't have a dispensary of my own. I do everything through companies. So Araya Healthcare is one that I use, and Oborn, Tegria. Who else? It's probably who I don't use is probably faster than who I do use. All of the companies, and I have practitioner scripts, so I'm not holding stock anymore. So that's not quite as important. So people aren't getting those discounts because I'm not holding so much stock. But we need to know where everybody is, and we need to be able to contact them so that we can send them those emails, so that we can send them a Christmas card. It might be that you have, you are someone who's really good at sitting down and writing, in which case people would love to receive a real Christmas card. I remember when I first started out in business, I had string across the windows, and I would be putting more string up and more string up for all the Christmas cards. And now Christmas, we're not sending as many Christmas cards anymore, and I haven't got string. I've just got them standing on top of the piano. So, that's just the changes of the world. People email those Christmas cards. So if you wanted to actually write them, kudos to you. Then what did we go through? Then we talked about opt-ins and funnels and nurturing those clients, because once we've got that email address, then we can nurture our clients, and we can be sending them, some recipes, we can be sending them meditations, we can be sending them ideas to support their health, and nurturing them like that, so that when they receive an email from you, they know it's going to be a goodie. There's going to be something in there for them. And it reminds me, I've sent out, so in March of 2020, when we all went into lockdown, I immediately emailed all of my clients each week. Everybody got an email each week of all the different tips and ideas. And I had numerous emails back to me saying, can I share this? Absolutely, 100% share it with everybody, because these are tips that everybody needs. And it also meant that I became, people knew that I existed even more, because we have to know, we have to follow up with our clients. We have to follow up with the people we work with. And yes, my follow-up email from Acuity is automated, but it doesn't matter that it's automated. People don't mind it's automated, that they get the exact same, thank you for attending email every time, because I say to them, you'll get an automated email. Please reply to it if you've got any issues. So they know that they have that access to me. And it works really, really well. And I normally, if you've got any issues, if you didn't understand me, and generally the emails back to me are, "It was brilliant seeing you. Thank you so much. I really understood everything you said." So it's worth having these systems in place. Have you got, in previous emails, we're on the podcast, people. In previous podcasts, I've said, go to geraldineheadley.podia.com and get the downloads and work through the downloads. So those are ways, they're opt-ins, they're ways of making sure that, you've got everything you need at your fingertips. So, and then what should we do? Finally, it was supposed to be Friday was the gratitudes and acknowledgements day. But then I thought, challenges, even the simple one as it is hard for people to follow up. So I actually made it day 5, actually Saturday. I should put it out late Friday night, I think, and said, come on, the weekend is for gratitudes and is to acknowledge yourself and to support yourself and to have some time for you. And because leading into this time of year is always hectic. So it was make sure that you're thinking about yourself and not just about others. And then, of course, there was the, winner one-on-one with me. So, anyone can have a 15-minute focus call anytime. And I'd love you to book in for one. If I'm in your head now and you're listening to me, I'd love to meet you. I find it really, really exciting when I look at my diary. So I'll see them come through, I'll see them pop up, and I'll say, oh, focus call. And then I'll sort of forget about it. And then, because often, you can't book in really quickly. There's normally a wait for a few weeks before you can get in. Sometimes there isn't, sometimes because they're only 15 minutes. So there's often a little spot here and there you can get yourself into. And then it comes up, open up the email. I get a weekly email from Acuity telling me about that week's, and it'll say, I've got 500 people to see it. I'm like, what? And then realize that, of course, it's a couple of groups and there were 100 of them or whatever. Not 500. That would be an absolute lie. I've had them. So at the moment, I guess the last one was 200 and something I had, because I had 3 groups on the go at the time. And so they all had lots of people in them. And when you count in the academy, there's a lot of people in there. They're all booked in through Acuity. So they will get reminders of the group calls. So when and then I open it up and it says all these ones. And then I look through and I'll say group. And I scroll down, because the academy down. And then I'll say focus call with. And I'll go, oh, it's exciting. And I touch on the email, off I go and I have a look again. Oh, that's exciting. I get to speak to them. So I love focus calls. Please book in for one if you're free and if you'd like one, if there's something you wanted to talk about or something you wanted to ask me about. And as for these podcasts, if you want me to talk about something, please let me know. Just email me. I'd love to hear from you and I'd love to find out what you're up to. So it's Geraldine at mentoringwithgeraldine.biz is the email address to use. If you're in my Acuity, you will see that it comes back as Geraldine Health, because that just covers all the bases. And it means, clients, it's just Geraldine Health. Like mentees, it's Geraldine Health, because that's just the Acuity. I don't really know what else to name that email address. So I don't want it muddled in with anything else. But if you've got something you'd like me to talk about, if you've got something you'd like me to go through, then please email me. I'd love to hear from you. It's so good when I get to speak to people and people are excited to speak to me and I'm just as excited to speak to them. It's always so much fun. So I think I've done my bite-size amount. I might have even gone over time again. I'm a bit naughty. I've called it bite-size so it's short, sweet and to the point, but sometimes I go a little bit over. So make sure that you subscribe and do all the things. So please go and review. It's really important that we review each other. It's really important that you review me so that others find me and that you share my podcast. And if you share things, I'm always up for giving people bonuses and finding things for people and helping them out wherever I can. So I'd love you to support me and I look forward to supporting you even more as we go forward into 2021. See you soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.